everybody. Welcome to episode 21 of the Maine Morgue. I am your host, as always, Jamie Santamore. I hope everybody that celebrated this past week had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had an amazing time with my family. Got to spend some quality time with my mom and my nephew. My kids had a great time with their grandparents and their great-grandparents and their uncles and their aunts. Excuse me, there were two there. Before I jump into the show this week, I want to tell you guys about I want to inform you again of the price change for Sins of Man Rise of Mortis if you order it through bullmoose.com for U.S. residents. It is being lowered to $9.97, as will be Sins of Man 2 Vengeance when it does become released. You can also digitally download the movie for a charge of $10 at ibleedindie.com. That is for worldwide horror fans. As well as you can rent Sins of Man Rise of Mortis on ibleedindie.com for $2. I want to clarify, I believe it was last week or the week before that, where I said I would not discuss wrestling on this show anymore. I need to clarify that. I will not talk about my wrestling career anymore. I'm a huge fan of pro wrestling or sports entertainment, whichever you call it. I'm a fan of both, actually. So the wrestling talk on this show will be strictly professional wrestling from now on when I discuss the topic of wrestling. All right, first up this week, I'm changing the name of Movie Talk to Screen Chat because I'm going to start talking more about television shows. But first up, I wanted to review a movie this week. 2001's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Written and directed by Kevin Smith, starring Kevin Smith and Jason Hughes as the title characters, and just a slew of amazingly talented actors and actresses. Here we go. Ben Affleck, Jason Anderson, Shannon Elizabeth, Ali Lauder, Elijah Dushku, Jason Lee, Tracy Morgan, and Jennifer, and I hope I say this right, Schwalbach, who is now Jennifer Schwalbach Smith, married to Kevin Smith. And that's just a short list of the amazing, just unbelievably talented actors. I mean, Will Ferrell was in this movie. Chris Rock was in this movie. The late George Carlin was in this movie. The late Wes Craven made a cameo appearance in this movie. You know, just an amazing cast. And George Carlin was in this movie. The late George Carlin, very inspirational to me as a young person. I listened to George Carlin CDs with my dad, who was a huge George Carlin fan. And, even though his role in this movie is small, it's very memorable, I guess would be the word you use. This has a lot of funny things in it. It's also a very weird story. I mean, you have to know the characters of Jay and Silent Bob and their alter egos, Blunt Man and Chronic, to really understand this movie. I'm going to take this ring off. It's bothering my finger. Where was I? This is a movie that if you just need to sit back and relax and forget about the problems of the world for a while, put this movie in, and by the end of it, oh my God, you will just be busting out laughing. I've heard a lot of critics and people say that this is a stoner movie that only stoners will enjoy. And I really can't disagree with that anymore, because I'm not a stoner. I've never touched a drug in my life, and if you can see the tattoos on my wrist, on my hands, it says drug-free. I also have the words straight edge tattooed right here. I live a straight edge lifestyle. I've never touched marijuana in my life. And I'll tell you right now, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is a fucking hilarious movie. And critics, should just maybe lighten the fuck up and enjoy a fucking movie. Why do you sit there and watch a movie if all you're going to do is write in your newspaper or online? You fucking online critics piss me off daily with some of the stupid shit you write. Lighten the fuck up. Enjoy a fucking movie once in a while. Not everything has to be a fucking Oscar-worthy fucking movie. Because, you know what? How many fucking movies get nominated for Best Picture? What, 5 or 6? How many fucking movies come out a year? I mean, seriously. Some movies are just there for you to fucking sit back, eat your popcorn, drink your soda, and enjoy the fucking movie. Not everything's gonna win an Oscar. Everybody fucking knows that. And critics, chill the fuck out. As for a rating of this movie, and I'm gonna piss a lot of you motherfuckers off, and I don't care. 4.5 out of 5 stabs I gave Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I thought it was a very hilarious movie. I enjoyed everything about this movie. There really wasn't anything I didn't enjoy. I love the way Jay and Silent Bob are always just kind of at each other, but they're always there for each other too. I love Ben Affleck in this movie. Matt Damon has a small role. I mean, amazing. Just them together on screen is magic. I mean, they won an Oscar together, for Christ's sake. So, all right, next up, I highly recommend Jay and Silent Bob for people that just need to fucking relax for an hour and 44 minutes. So pick up Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back. I'm sure you will find something you love about this movie. If you do, hit me up, themainmorgue@gmail.com. Or hey, if you see this movie and you fucking hate it and you want to tell me about it, email me. All right, next up. 6-pack of fan questions. And here we go. Number 1. Who are your favorite comedic actors? Let's see. George Carlin, Robin Williams. I loved Robin Williams and Patch Adams. I thought he was brilliant. Comedic actors. Let me see here. I love Kevin Smith. I love Jason Mewes. I love Jason Lee. There's another one, right on the tip of my tongue. I love Chris Rock. I think Kevin Hart is fucking brilliant. And believe it or not, one of my favorite comedic actors, now that he's starting to do some action comedies, is The Rock. I think he's hilarious. I loved Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell in, is it Stepdads? Or Daddy's Home, that's what it was. So those are some of my favorite comedic actors. Next up. What was your favorite scene in Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis? I would have to say there were 2. And if you're talking about favorite scenes that I was in, the scene at the police station at the end of the movie and the fight scene in the garage. Now, my favorite scene that I wasn't in, I would have to say, has to be, I think the scene in the diner would be my favorite scene because those people were very welcoming. They had amazing food. We sat there, we ate, we shot our scenes, and they were really open to just letting us be there for the fun of it and the enjoyment of being there, and they really enjoyed us being there. One of the few places during filming of the first 2 movies that were really like super inviting and hey, do whatever you want. Just, you know, we didn't want to be in the way of their customers. So, next question. What is on the wall behind you? I get this question a lot, actually. And, I mean, look behind me. There's nothing but horror autographs on the walls. And this Giants banner over my shoulder. I'm wearing a Giants hat today, too, because they beat the shit out of the Cleveland Browns today. I was wearing a Eli Manning jersey earlier. But other than my horror stuff, behind me on the tower of my computer is a Joe Cool, Snoopy, piggy bank. I have a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Over my shoulder here behind me is a pile of toys that were given to me by various fans. People just send me stuff, and I greatly appreciate it. So basically, horror stuff is what is on the wall behind me. It's all horror autographs or horror toys. I mean, over my shoulder here is a Freddy Krueger glove, a Ghostface Funko doll, and a Freddy Krueger action figure. But mostly it's horror autographs. And right here is my article that appeared in the local newspaper. I know a lot of people don't usually do stuff like that. I do, because I'm very proud of that, because it was something that I set up by myself. Next up. What's something about you that would surprise fans? This is another question I get a lot, and I usually give a different answer every time I'm asked it. But I think it would be that I'm romantic at heart. I love romantic comedies. I love romantic dramas. I've often said that one of my favorite movies is The Vow. Another one is Dear John. I think those movies are amazingly written, well made. Another thing that might surprise fans is that I'm not a horror fan widespread. I'm more of a slasher horror fan. And I've noticed that I watch a lot of like really bad indie horror films, slasher films, and I think, that's probably where my love comes from. I mean, the first horror movie I ever saw was Halloween when I was 10, followed very swiftly by Friday the 13th the same day. So, baptism by fire. Thanks a lot, Dad. And I mean, I do watch other horror. I mean, people call Gremlins a horror movie. I love Gremlins. I love Gremlins 2, the new batch. I actually just watched Gremlins the other night. Last night, as a matter of fact, because I'm recording this very late on Sunday night. I'm very motivated this week. Something else that would surprise fans. I'm a vegetarian, which makes it very difficult to eat when I'm on set. We always have to go to like a House of Pizza where they have a vegetarian sandwich, or I'll eat French fries. So those are just a few things that would surprise fans. All right, next up. What is your day like? I think I've answered this before, but fucking controlled chaos is the best thing I can fucking come up with. No, my day, basically, I get up at a little before 8. I get my kids off to school. I come back in the house. I eat my breakfast, which is usually a bagel and cream cheese, because I am a diabetic. I have to be careful of what I eat. Following breakfast, I usually come into the office, check emails, Facebook, Twitter, respond to as much of that as I can. Then I start writing. I check on appointments and things like that. Mostly my day consists of writing or thinking about writing. And what I mean by that is, if I get stuck, I'll put the pen down, I'll close the notebook, and I'll just think, okay, what could possibly happen next? And then when I come up with what's going to happen next, I say, okay, what's going to happen after that? And it's just a continuing process. When my kids come home, work gets pushed to the side. Unless I'm rendering one of these videos, then I have to watch the thing because it likes to freeze on me. Power Director 10 fucking sucks. By the way, thank you, fucking Windows 10. Fuck you, Windows 10. Anyways, see, now that I said that, the fucking computer's gonna die. That wasn't meant to the fans. That was meant to fucking Microsoft and Windows fucking 10. Pisses me off at least twice a week. Anyways, the end of the night, usually when I leave the office at 2 a.m., I mean, I eat dinner with my kids and everything, but then I come back and my office is in my house, so I just come in and I start writing at night, and usually I go to bed about 2 o'clock. So that is my day in a nutshell. And by the way, when I say I break for lunch, I don't. I make my lunch, come back to my office, and continue working. Which is really weird, because if I have to make a dentist appointment or a doctor appointment or anything like that for my kids, I come into the office and do it, and usually I'll call on my lunch break, which is their lunch break, so I have to talk to an answer machine. You'd think I would learn. Anyways, last question this week. What is your hidden talent? Well, if I told you my hidden talent, it wouldn't be hidden, now would it? My hidden talent. I'm funny. I've been told since I was in like 6th grade that I was funny. I had a woman who was my ed tech therapist, social worker back in like kindergarten or 1st grade, Mrs. Edie. Love that woman. I wish I could contact her. I'm pretty sure she's passed away. But I wish I could talk to her and say, look, I'm making movies now. I'm an actor. You always said I'd be an actor. But I know everybody says I'm funny. And I'm very sarcastic, and I make sarcastic, off-the-cuff, sometimes sexual comments, and people laugh. They enjoy it. So I guess my hidden talent would be my humor. All right, next up, I want to talk to you guys on a serious note about the delay, again, of Sins of Man 2 Vengeance. Upon making this announcement on Wednesday before leaving on holiday, I made the announcement that we were pushing back the release date. I have not since given a new release date because we don't know when it's going to be completely fucking honest with you. And I believe in 100% transparency with you guys, my fan base. Let me ask you a question, and I said this on social media. Do you want me and Wicked Carnival Productions to release an unfinished movie? Because I can crank out a DVD tomorrow of what we have done. However, you're not going to know the ending of the movie. Or would you rather I push back the release date, again, for the second time, and push forward making better special effects, better CGI, making sure the editing is as tight as possible on this movie, and then releasing it when it's ready? You just think about that for a second. Upon opening my email, wickedcarnivalproductions@gmail.com, on Friday morning, I had 158 hate emails because I missed the release date, or was going to miss the release date, which actually was today, November 27th. I didn't read most of them. You know, the thing is, Wicked Carnival Productions isn't the only studio to miss a release date or push a release date or bump a release date. I can think of 2 franchises that have movies currently in production that have pushed back their release dates. Friday the 13th, the new one, was supposed to come out this year. It hasn't. It's coming out next year. And Halloween, when it was originally titled Halloween Returns, was supposed to be out this year, and they bumped it to next year. So major studios are doing it, and my little small no-budget film company is getting trashed, on social media and in my email account because we pushed back the release date of our second movie. It happens. That's all I'm going to say about it. There will be an announcement soon, hopefully, about a release date, and to my cast. There will be a viewing party for you guys prior to the release of the movie, I hope. Even if it's the same day, I will let you guys know. Fans worldwide, again, I apologize, but there is nothing I can really do to make the process go any faster, because I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do music and follies and all that stuff. That is Chris Fife's job. He's working as hard as he can, with things going on in his personal life, his professional life. He has 4 other companies that he runs. He has a dozen other projects he's working on. And, he's a performer. He's a musician. He performs, 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm at his mercy. We're at his mercy. And I've already told him the movie will come out when it comes out, because I want Sins of Man 2 Vengeance to be the absolute best slasher movie that we can put forward. Because I will not, I repeat, will not release a subpar movie for you guys, the fans. Because I've seen a lot of movies that are just total shit because they rushed production, or they rushed post-production. And I'm not going to do that to you guys because I care too much. So that is all I'm going to say about the delay of Sins of Man 2 Vengeance. There will be an announcement, hopefully soon, about the release, and that's the best I can do. All right, moving on. I'll update you guys on the latest slasher movie that I've been writing. The script is coming along. The story has changed a little bit from where it began and where I thought it was going to go. And I think you guys will be happy with the story that you get, and surprised with this movie. In terms of future projects, I want people to know that we're only going to be doing 1 project a year, whether it be a film, a short film, a web series. There's only going to be one project a year for the foreseeable future until we can get a staff of people, writers, directors, producers, actors, and maybe start doing more films. But we're going to need an editing team because, quite simply, Chris can't do it all himself in post-production. If we're going to do more than one movie. Chris does fine with what he's doing for the Sins of Man trilogy, but expansion at this point is not in the cards for Wicked Carnival Productions, and that's just the truth of the matter. Having one project a year is going to allow myself and Chris the ability to focus all of our energies on that one single project without having to worry about what's next and how we're going to get things done for the next project. I want to be able to focus on, like this year, 2017, will be all about Sins of Man 3 Tribulation and wrapping up the Sins of Man trilogy. As for what comes after that, I really have no fucking idea. I've got shit written. It's all going to depend on timing and how long it's going to take to film the next project. I really am looking forward to doing the short film that I have written as well as the web series, because those are two things that I've tried really hard to get done and worked really hard on writing them. The web series is going to be a 10-episode series, and the short film is about 24 minutes long. So we'll see, but for right now, one project a year. Chris and I are going to work very closely together to make sure that this works out the best we can. And we're going to keep making movies with Wicked Carnival Productions for as long as we can. Last up this week, I was asked by a fan, in the context of all the hate mail, there was one email from a fan who was very supportive, who was very kind and understanding of the delay. So, Christy, I want to say thank you to you. And she asked me this question. It's actually a two-part question. What scares me and what doesn't scare me? Okay. What scares me? Any movie that could actually happen scares me. Halloween. Friday the 13th. The original Friday the 13th. Scream scared the shit out of me in 1996. Because, like, oh my god, that could fucking happen in this fucking town. Mrs. Voorhees, Jason, Leatherface, Ghostface, Michael Myers. Those could all happen. I mean, Saw in 2017, or 2016 rather. I'm going a year ahead of myself again. Could actually happen. Animals scare me. I mean, wolves scare me. Bears, mountain lions, snakes, they scare me a little bit. I live in Maine. There are no poisonous snakes in Maine. Although, if you guys outside of the state of Maine are interested in a wild snake story, we had Wessie in Westbrook, Maine this summer. Was a green python. I don't know if they caught her or if she died and froze to death, because it is now fall here. But that was the closest thing we've ever had to like a dangerous snake. But those are the things that really scare me. Now, I'm going to preface what doesn't scare me by saying, for all you people that are fans of this shit, I'm not trying to offend you. And I don't mean shit by saying it's bad. It's just a group of things that don't scare me. And I'm just being honest and answering the question. So, here we go. Ghosts, vampires, werewolves, zombies, anything supernatural does not fucking scare me. These things, they don't scare me because I don't believe that they're possible. I don't think that they're real. Or in any way possible. Now, don't get pissed at me, please. Don't fucking flood me with emails telling me how wrong I am and how stupid it is that I don't like these things. Because I'll tell you something. I have a ton of friends that are in the paranormal field, and they've done quite well for themselves. My buddy Eric Perry, who lives in New Hampshire, is big in the paranormal field. A guy that used to live in Bridgeton, I think he lives in Gray, Maine now, Chris Sanders, has a huge following in the paranormal community here in Maine. They've done very well for themselves. I just don't particularly believe in ghosts. That's just me. I've never encountered one. I've never fucking seen one. I don't know how I'd react if I did see one. But in terms of ghosts, I'm sorry, not ghosts. Vampires, werewolves, and zombies. I like vampire movies, except for Twilight. Fuck you, Twilight. I love werewolf movies. Again, fuck you, Twilight. Zombie things, I mean, movies are alright. Zombies, I mean, okay. I don't think there will ever fucking be a zombie apocalypse. Scientists have said that The Walking Dead is a great show, but it is scientifically impossible. So, and you know, I'm a person that has never seen not one single fucking frame of The Walking Dead, and you'll never get me to watch that show, because I don't buy into the hype. I'm not like that. I don't choose my favorite shows based on, 3 million people watch The Walking Dead every week. I don't fucking care. I'm the fucking majority in that fucking boat, okay? And I simply don't care what's popular or what's cool. You watch your fucking Walking Dead every Sunday night. I'll watch my fucking Son of Zorn and everybody's fucking happy. By the way, I love Son of Zorn. I'm actually going to flip that on when I'm done the show tonight. I'll watch my Friday, my Nightmare, my Halloween, my Child's Play, my Scream, and I'm happy. That's one thing I don't understand with you folks. And here we go. We're gonna fucking get into it. Horror fans. We claim to be a close-knit community. But there are things that divide us. Like our fandom. I'm a huge slasher fan. By the way, I absolutely fucking love the show on Chiller, Slasher. It was fucking brilliant. I enjoyed it, even though I kind of had it figured out at the end. But, see, if I say I don't like vampires and zombies and ghosts, that puts me in a minority. In a little sector that only likes slashers. And the majority of people like The Walking Dead. I find this on social media, especially Facebook, with the horror groups. Somebody, and I can't remember which group it was, because I belong to like fucking 20 of them, said, and it was a little meme, and it was a picture of Team Daryl, Team Rick, and Team Negan, and it was based on your zodiac sign. And I was on Team Daryl. And so, the question was, which team are you on? So I typed in, it says Team Daryl. However, I'm on hashtag I don't watch The Walking Dead. And I expected like just a shit ton of hate mail or hate messages, replies, And really nobody said too much. And then I went to my email. And there was a bunch of emails. And because I have the show and, people know who I am in the horror community because I make movies. And they asked why I hate zombies. And I don't hate zombies. Like I said, it's simply because they don't scare me. Real shit scares me. Fake Hollywood shit doesn't scare me. Use my movie as an example. Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis could fucking happen in any town in America. And that's why I wrote it the way I did. And that's why Mortis can fucking be anybody. He could be me. He could be you. He could be the milkman. He could be your mailman. He could be your lawyer. He could be a judge. He could be a policeman. He could be President of the United States for all we fucking know. He could be the governor of Sandy Creek, or mayor, I guess it would be. Sandy Creek is, by the way, is the fictional town where the story takes place. But that was the point of Rise of Mortis. I wanted people to understand that this story could happen in any small town in America, or Canada, or Europe, or wherever. And Mortis could be anybody. And I really tried hard in the writing of these movies to make that the case. So, real shit scares me. Serial killers scare me. Bank robbers scare me. Evil, villainous people scare me. Corporate people, terrorists, they scare the shit out of me. And that goes beyond, horror, but those are the things that scare me. All right, I'm going to wrap the show up this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've tried to be a little bit more colorful, a little bit more amped up, I guess would be a good word. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and I'm trying to get really high energy when I do the show. If I drank energy drinks, I'd probably drink a Monster and then come on here and do the show, but you'd probably not be able to understand a fucking word I'm saying. So thank you guys for watching the show week after week. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying my other 2 video series, which of course one is the Horror Pack unboxing. I love doing those because I love to open the movies and give my little blurbs on each movie. This week, this month's box, though, I really hadn't seen. I don't think I'd seen any of them, which is really weird. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the Horror Pack indie movie reviews, which I really enjoy those because I'm, as an indie filmmaker, I'm really starting to enjoy watching other people's indie films and what they do compared to what I do, and kind of blending my style with theirs and picking up things as I go along. So everybody just take care as we're getting into the holiday season. Look out for one another. Help somebody if you can. And as always, stay humble, stay hungry, everybody. I'll see you guys next week.